How did Alex Kurtzman convince Paramount to put this turd out? Does the new Star Trek Section 31 work? Is it gonna kill the franchise? Let's find out. You want to copy Guardians of the Galaxy? You want to make a gritty show that doesn't quite conform to the lore of the IP it's based on? You want to do it with plucky underdog characters of diverse backgrounds?
Dude, don't call us plucky. We don't know what it means.
Well, you better make them real and give them dialogue that doesn't sound like it was written by a fourth grader on the spectrum. They need to have some sort of believable motivations. They have to have a deep mental bench of emotions for us to connect with. That's the only way we'll be compelled to root for them at the end. If I could isolate the major issues with this show, I gotta begin with the over-the-top caricatures that they call characters. They exhibit no redeemable human qualities. You can't really empathize with them because they instantly annoy you. We need more than a frat boy jock in a power suit who's a strong yet ignorant hothead that disarms the audience with his antics. Did anyone else get Drax the Destroyer vibes here? It feels like the director Olotuni Osunami just finished watching Guardians a week before he started directing this. I mean, rip off good movies much? Also, I love how they killed off the seductress character Mel right at the beginning, and I didn't give a crap because I'm not invested in her at all. I know little if nothing about her. Sure, she's a great piece of eye candy, but she has no real substance, just like the show. Next, it feels like the inhabitants of this alternate reality want to live in a neutered matriarchy with little distinguishing characteristics between men and women, except for the fact that these women have infinite agency and can play the victim and girl boss simultaneously. It's the dream of winning at being a girl and beating the boys at their own game. The protagonist, played by Michelle Yeoh, whose name I can't really even remember, is of course the most ruthless, capable person ever. We know this because the show can't stop yapping about how she's a total badass and the most greatest girl boss of all time. She even eats eyeballs. Yeah, she fucking eats eyeballs. She won a bullshit competition to be empress of some planet of no consequence, where she ruled with an iron fist and created some bioweapon MacGuffin. She's recruited by a group of mentally handicapped spies that she easily outwits at her bar, but then they twist her arm conveniently to retrieve the bioweapon that she created. And since physics doesn't exist in this universe, it has the capacity of destroying hundreds of thousands of light years of space easily. The rest of the show is inconsequential, except to showcase how Yeoh, even though she's 62, can kick all sorts of ass. I just don't think she works as a femme fatale, and I gotta say, I don't get Hollywood's obsession with her. I mean, she's an excellent actor, but I'm not floored by her acting, and I think giving her $12 million for a 7 out of 10 performance at best is a huge mistake in a long list of bad decisions for this show. Other issues include the way the show spoon feeds you the answers to some of the predicaments the characters get into. None of the crew really needs to be particularly clever or problem solving for the show to work. What's more, the interactions between the crew sound scripted and downright goofy. I don't know why the hell they would give this director a chance to helm this show when his film's Rotten Tomato scores range between 6 and 44%. Did the studio even consider anybody else for the director's position? Another one of the show's problems is that we never have a reason to root for the so-called protagonist. There's never a compelling reason for us to connect with her. She's just this asshole that kills her family and ruled the empire ruthlessly. She betrays her love interest and treats him like a dog.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
She never shows empathy or does anything redeemable. I mean, save a puppy or beat up a road rager or something. With characters like Vic Mackey from The Shield, we get a proper anti-hero. And in the pilot episode, he even beats the crap out of a pedophile in order to rescue a young girl. So you're constantly conflicted about your opinions of him. You sometimes even root for him. Section 31 is Hollywood's wet dream. And I think it's the one that sees Star Trek slowly pull away from the creative clutches of Alex Kurtzman. Stop taking established IPs and remaking them for the modern audience. There is no modern audience. Paramount needs to learn the lessons from Disney's Acolyte, Indiana Jones 5, and the Marvels. I've made too many of these to predict that it's going to be the last. It used to be that Hollywood was prioritizing message over quality, but now it seems like it's prioritizing message over money, and that makes no sense. Melody McCune of Telltale TV says this movie lacks the depth and thoughtfulness for which the franchise is known. It struggles with pacing inconsistencies, often dragging in some spots, with a rushed, jumbled conclusion. And Josh Tyler of Giant Freaking Robot asks, is it possible for a movie to be evil? This one is. I give this show a 0 out of 5 reels, and critics have destroyed it on Rotten Tomatoes, giving it a 20% score. So avoided like a 70-pound meth head crack whore in a dark alley in Mexico. Well, it looks like Paramount just killed Star Trek. Anyways, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and as always, keep watching movies.